All right, here we go. Two burly boys played Pokemon in their youth. One had to grow up, the other stayed true. Now the large grown-up child can name all of them, but the other guy probably 510. Now what can they do? Why don't they review? Now we'll talk about them till we die.
Die? This is your certified Poke-moment. I'm Frank.
And I'm Joachim.
And today's Pokemon is...
Roll.
Anorith! We're talking about a fossil today, boys.
That's cool.
So Anorith is a rock bug type, as all fossils are rock types. It actually has a gender ratio of 87.5% male. That's so random. I feel like odd gender ratios like that always come at the most like specific Pokemon.
Do you think it's like... Do you think there's like it's a specific reference to it? Because it's based off of what? That giant shrimp, prehistoric shrimp
Yeah, is
thing.
it based off like just like an Ammonite or something like that?
No, Anorith is based off of... Drumroll... Anomalocaris. Giant...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Man, it looks just like it too.
Yeah.
They really made it look exactly the same.
I don't have a problem with their interpretation of Anomalocaris, because it's a cute little guy. I always thought that the its little swimmers on the side look kind of like feathers.
Yeah, I would have thought they were feathers growing up too.
Yeah. I always preferred it over Cradilly and that
Yes,
line.
yes. If I had to choose, I think Anorith and its evolution Armaldo are definitely cooler than Lileep and Cradilly. I don't know.
I liked Lilith and Lilith.
Lilith?
Lilith? Wait, what is it? Lileep?
It was Lileep.
Lileep. I always like Lileep and Cradilith. I
Cradilly.
think Cradilly, whatever.
You don't even know 510 Pokemon.
But I think they're just whatever. Arnaldo.
Armaldo.
Wait, that one was on purpose.
Yeah.
Armaldo is just cooler. I
Yeah.
don't know. Its design is just actually really, really cool.
Yeah, I think Armaldo is a criminally underrated Pokemon. Hot take, I think a lot of Gen 3 Pokemon are pretty underwhelming, but Armaldo is actually like a standout in my
Okay,
opinion.
give me 10 underwhelming.
10
I love Generation 3.
I feel like in Region and Pokedex, Generation 3 is a little weak. And I know I could be burned at the stake for saying that.
I'll burn you on the back of a camera.
Yeah.
That's a little Pokemon
yeah.
humor.
You know what? Good point. Numel and Camerupt. Not great Pokemon.
I love Numel.
Kind of boring.
Numel. I love Numel and Camerupt.
You pronounce it Numel?
Yeah, you pronounce it Numel.
I'm
Agree
right.
to disagree. Okay.
So, speaking of Armaldo, Anorith evolves into Armand. Oh, I did it too. You're rubbing off on me. It evolves into Armaldo at level 40, which is kind of high. I don't think all fossils evolve that high level.
I think that's cool. I like a lot of later evolutions because it means you get to spend more time with that, like the previous evolution.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. It's like whenever you get your starter at the beginning of any game, by like the second gym, sometimes even like just after the first, it's already evolving.
I would always grind until I would level up my Pokemon for the first gym and then just sweep with like a friggin' who's between Chimchar and Infernape? Monferno. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're gonna have to start bumping you down to like 505.
Shut up. I never liked Monferno because he had like blue on his face and I was like, that's gross.
And
it's gross.
Blue's a cool color. I think
Not on a monkey's face.
It makes him different enough from both Chimchar and Infernape.
You would enjoy a Mandrill then. You'd look at its butt and be
no, Mandrills are very ugly monkeys. Why are we on monkeys? So Anorith and Armaldo get a couple of different abilities. Battle Armor, which means the opponent's move cannot cause critical hits on you. Very cool. And then a hidden ability of Swift Swim. When rainy, the Pokemon's speed doubles.
I wasn't listening to you. What does Battle Armor do again?
That's crazy.
I was looking at pictures of Armando.
Yeah, thanks.
Armaldo.
Battle Armor, the opponent's moves cannot critical hit.
Oh.
So that's very useful since critical hits can like make or break an entire battle. The most recent game you could get these guys in was Sword and Shield. They're not available in Scarlet and Violet, which is sad.
I hate that Scarlet and Violet didn't have fossil Pokemon.
I mean, well, technically the DLCs gave us Rampardos and Bastiodon.
But they didn't get their own fossil Pokemon, like Generation 7.
Oh, you're talking about yeah. I think every generation we should get more fossil Pokemon.
Yeah, I love fossil Pokemon.
There's such a cool and unique what's the word? Variation.
There we go.
Variation of like Pokemon type.
Yeah, and there's so many cool Pokemon or animals of the past to pull from.
Mm-hmm. It took them till like Generation 6 to start doing like dinosaur Pokemon. We would just get all these random offshoots of like plants and like these small insects like Anorith.
A T-Rex took way too long to exist, but also I'm glad we got a T-Rex later in Pokemon.
True.
Because I don't think a Generation 1 T-Rex would have looked very cool.
No, I feel like it would have probably looked extremely basic.
I don't think a Generation 2 T-Rex would have even looked cool.
No, Generation 2 was just DLC Generation 1, so
yeah.
I imagine they would have had very similar design aesthetics.
I think Generation 2 onwards, no, 3 onwards, perfect. Mm-hmm. They would have handled it well.
Yeah, Generation 3, look, I was trashing it earlier. It had a lot of good designs, but I feel like Generation 3 is one of the biggest separations of either really good or really bad, and there's just not a lot of in between. Or maybe, now that I think about it, maybe it's just all in betweens. It's just all Pokemon that are okay.
You like Pelipper?
No.
Yeah, I love Pelipper.
I do not like Pelipper.
We disagree on this.
Yeah, Pelipper is an ugly Pokemon.
No, that's a beautiful Pokemon.
It does get drizzled, though.
Dustox?
I like that. Dustox is fine.
Dustox is great.
It's fine. Beedrill's better. Beedrill's a lot better.
Beedrill's really cool. Beedrill's really
cool. Armaldo's stat spread really isn't bad. Its base attack is 125. That's good.
Really?
That's good attack. That means with a max stats beneficial nature, its attack stat could be like 383, just under like 400 attack points. That's insane.
Is it a physical attacker?
Oh yeah, its special attack's only the base is 70.
You said it was Rock Bug?
Yes.
Okay.
Rock Bug. And I think nope. Cleavor is another rock bug. I was trying to think of other rock bug types. Oh no, and then you got Crustle. Okay, there's a decent amount of rock bug types actually. Oh my gosh!
There is fan art of every Pokemon.
There is inappropriate fan art of literally every Pokemon. I can't believe it exists for Armaldo.
Anyways,
that is absurd. Yeah, Jokum is on the Google image Armaldo search right now.
Because there's a lot of cool fan art of Armaldo.
Yeah, people seem to like Armaldo. It just doesn't ever seem to be talked about enough.
I don't know. It's really unique. It's not just like a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Gen 5 fossils are kind of boring. But this one is just really interesting. It's a cool bug.
I don't know. I like Caracosta. I always thought Caracosta was kind of cool. Just a big turtle. Big turtle walking on 2 feet. It's cool.
If Archeop whatever wasn't sucky,
it's his ability. It's his ability that holds him back.
It is.
Fetus. It sucks.
What a horrible ability.
He just has too high an attack stat. Game Freak had to nerf him.
Give him a hidden ability, for the love of God.
Sadly, I don't think it'll ever come.
I will let my bird fly.
Shiny Anorith is actually pretty cool. It goes from being like that muted greenish gray to kind of like this like almost like a tinted gold, like a very brownish gold.
That's all right.
It's different enough. Even its back turns from like a really, really dark gray to like a tannish, like a dark tan. There's enough difference there for me.
Whoa, I friggin' love Anorith's black and white and black 2 and white 2 sprites. Holy cow.
Yeah, it looked great.
That is so nice.
That's a good back sprite.
Dang. It's so full of love and life. It's like this little claws move.
All Generation 5, like, pixel art, like, animations turned out so nicely. I know this is a very common thing for people to say, but that is probably my favorite era of Pokemon, is when all those sprites just moved all over the place. They weren't just staring deadpan, like, straight ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Armaldo's shiny, he becomes, like, red. He just looks sunburnt. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. If you step away from the fact that it looks like a sunburn, I mean, it is a cool red.
It's kind of like a cooked lobster, but less cooked, but more. He looks like he has kind of like an irony taste.
Yeah, you know what? He looks almost kind of coppery.
Let's put a pin in that.
Good point. Oh wait, go ahead and Google for me, Jokum, really quick. What does look up Armaldo sitting cutie? I want to see what its sitting cutie
Are
looks
there
like.
sitting cuties of all Pokemon?
Up through Generation 5, yes. And they're
What?
making a new generation. I don't know if it's every year, but
That's amazing.
yeah, I can't wait till they get to Minior. Aw, okay, he's
Good.
pretty cute. He looks good.
Wow. Yeah,
He-
I get that.
In some of the pictures here, his eyes look a little droopy. He looks
Yeah.
sad.
Ooh.
Oh, he's just a little dope. Anorith is just kind of there. He can't sit. Anorith doesn't have a butt, I don't think. He can't sit upright.
He's on his tummy.
Yeah, he just kind of lays there.
Yeah. I know bugs have butts. That's the way we think of butts.
So I think one of the most notable things you can say about Armaldo is that he was on Steven's team, like Champion Steven from Hoenn.
Yeah.
He had an Armaldo and a Cradily on his team since he was like rock themed.
He was rock themed?
Yeah.
Kind of just assumed he was like steel themed.
He mixture of both, because his whole thing was, I love precious stones and rocks. And so he had like rock types, steel types. So he had a Metagross as his ace.
Yeah, I think because he led with Metagross, or not led, he had Metagross, I kind of just assumed. Honestly, if you told me he was the steel type gym leader of Hoenn, I'd be like, oh yeah.
But I can't think of any other steel types he really had. Like, did he have an Aggron or anything? Because Aggron is rock and steel.
Did he? I feel like he had an Aggron.
Would make sense, right?
Yeah, he had an Aggron.
Yeah, Skarmory,
And a
Claydol, Aggron, Cradily, Armaldo, and Metagross. Yeah.
So it's very ground, steel, and rock based. Like, that's kind of his vibe. Things that you can get from the ground.
Yeah. It also shows him having an Aerodactyl at one point. It's like a rebattle team instead of the... Oh, this is Gen 6, because he has the Metagross Ite. So this is Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphires was his team. But then also... Oh, that's sad. He got rid of Armaldo and Cradily for Carbink and Aerodactyl. He replaced Armaldo for Carbink.
Well, you could also say that he replaced Cradily for Carbink.
Okay, true.
Either way is a loss. Cradily
Yeah.
is so much more interesting than Carbink.
I think so. Listen, I don't mind Carbink. I think Carbink's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. But Armaldo just fit. It's literally a Hoenn Pokemon. I get this is his rebattle team, so he's allowed to have Pokemon like outside of his from future generations and everything. But I don't know. Carbink just seems so random. Like it was put there just because it was technically a Gen 6 game.
Yeah, I agree. But this isn't about Steven's team.
No,
This is about Armando.
One specific Pokemon
Armaldo.
from his team.
Those, man, the black and white sprites go hard.
They do. Look at how much movement they have.
So much love.
A lot of the 3D sprites of today, they move a bit, but it's just kind of a very like subtle, just waiting animation a lot of the time. There's just so much more life to them back in the day.
Even Heart Gold. Oh my gosh. Just the little roar Armaldo does at the beginning. Oh my gosh.
Little rumble.
Folks, we've been robbed. I always thought as a kid, and I don't know if anyone shared this belief with me, that the red was his eyes. I think I remember being a kid thinking the red was his eyes and thinking it was cool, and then because I was just like looking at his sprite and like I feel like look, if you go to the Emerald sprite, the white is so small that I was like, oh man, he's got these big cool red eyes.
Yeah, they do kind of look like cyborg eyes or something like that.
And then I think I looked up because I didn't really watch the Pokemon anime. I used to watch it a lot, but I guess I missed the parts with Steven using an Armaldo because I didn't realize his eyes are just these little offshoots.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine in adulthood. I appreciate them, but also it's very goofy. And I was really hoping that he was like almost like a Godzilla character with just like these red eyes in the middle, like a kaiju.
I can see for sure how you'd see that. I don't think I ever thought those were his eyes. Maybe I did for Anorith though, because Anorith, those little like red things they look like more on the top of his head.
Yeah,
but he does have more pronounced eye-looking eyes, so that's an interesting design detail that lasts through both.
I wonder if it's a reference to anything. Going to the trivia.
Armaldo in its pre-evolved form are the only Pokemon with the swift swim ability that are also weak to water. Okay, what a fun bit of trivia.
Wait, what did Swift Swim do again?
I literally told you this
Shut up.
earlier.
Shut up.
Oh, Swift Swim will double the Pokemon speed when it's raining.
Oh.
No. For a slow Pokemon like Armaldo,
Yeah,
that helps a lot.
But it also will help Water-type Pokemon, which you're good against.
I mean, true, but what if your opponent doesn't have Water-type Pokemon?
Yeah, you're right.
What if you're up against like a Fire-type gym leader, and now you have your super effective Rock moves, and you're twice as fast? Because Armaldo's base speed is only 45, so imagine doubling that to 90. That's a pretty good speed tier to be in.
But then okay, so you have to set up Rain to be in a good...
Yeah, just use your best friend Pelipper. Drizzle ability.
I do love Pelipper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, this
isn't
great.
the Pelipper episode, and I can't wait for that. If I were friggin' like in the Pokemon world, I'd have a Pelipper.
That's
what
crazy
a cool bird. What a cool bird.
That's one of the lamest birds in Pokemon.
With the little folding wings. Oh my gosh.
No,
see, design.
I think, Jokum, your little Hoenn team you're putting together there. You get yourself a Pelipper, get yourself an Armaldo, and build yourself a nice Hoenn Rain team. Put a Swamp. I don't know how she can really do much in Rain, but you put a Swampert on your team. Now,
why does it have to be about Rain? Why can't it be about love?
We were talking about a Rain team.
Oh, were we? I thought we were just
what is wrong with you?
I thought we were just talking about a cool team, a cool Pokemon.
Well, I guess now we can.
I'm a Gen 3er. Oh my gosh.
I was trying to build this team around Armaldo and his cool Swift Swim ability.
That is a good point. Yeah, build it around Armaldo.
Yeah, because then you can put Pelipper on there. You know, all water-type Pokemon do really well in the rain. It, like, boosts their water-type attacks. Put a Swampert on there. Get an Electric-type on there so you can use Thunder.
Oh, is Thunder... Does Thunder have...
It 100% hits in the rain.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Okay, I was thinking... I had a theory that Armaldo was 87% male, so I was like, oh, Cradilly is going to be 80% female. No. Cradilly is also 87% male.
That is so crazy. I don't know why.
What is this a reference to? Or the Pokemon Company, what are you doing? Honestly, Lilleep's alright. I like Cradilly.
I think Lilleep and Cradilly are fine. They're not bad Pokemon. I think they're really uniquely designed.
Yeah.
I just think Armaldo has got a more imposing appearance to him.
I would rather get another weird like a weird extinct animal than like Generation 8. Generation 8 and the weird mix match stuff, it's like, okay. If what's it called? The electric one, right? If you combine that, it would make like a cool little, like if you had its original body, probably be like a cool little electric raptor.
Yeah.
That's cool. But like, it's kind of safe.
I think more dinosaur-like fossil Pokemon is not a bad thing, but I think if they're going to keep giving us dinosaur fossils, because they always give us 2 until Gen 8, the other one should be this weird little creature. Kind of like how in Generation 8 we had like the electric raptor, but then we also had the head of like the Dunkleosteus or whatever in Arctivish and the other one that stands.
Well, yeah, what we never saw the other half of like that, like a Stegosaurus tail or something?
Yeah, that's basically it. It looks like the tail of a Stegosaurus. Whenever I see fan art of somebody like trying to complete the design, it's always some form of Stegosaurus.
Yeah, and then the other one was what?
It's just like this.
This isn't the Arctivish episode. So.
No, it's not. But I mean, it's still a fossil Pokemon.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
Was that long neck water dinosaur?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I got a bad memory for things that aren't Pokemon.
It's a long neck water dinosaur. Probably, maybe. Oof. Or it could be, what do you call it? A Leopleurodon? I don't know.
The magic Leopleurodon.
Yeah. Leopleurodon. Why was it just a Leopleurodon? Oh,
it wasn't.
Gosh.
It was a magic Leopleurodon.
Old YouTube. What the heck?
Good times, man.
Oh, gosh. Anyways.
We got to stay on track, though. The whole point of this podcast is to never get off of Pokemon. Pokemon is the best. And Armaldo is pretty great.
Yeah. I think we're ready for...
Wed, Fed, and Dead.
This is the part of the show where the boys discuss how wettable, edible, deadable the pocket monsters that we focused on won't belong. Turn up and come along to the segment of the show.
This is the part of the show, as you heard in the song, where we talk about the wettable, the edible, and the deadable aspects of these Pokemon that we talked about.
That's right, Jokum. So tell me, would you marry Armaldo?
I think in this situation we have to marry them, and it's basically the quality of marriage. It's not good. It's a bug.
Yeah.
Or
it's Rocky Bug. It's got that exoskeleton. I can't imagine it being very nice to hug. And scythe hands. How are you gonna hold those when you're walking down the beach together?
Yeah. Honestly, I think Wed, Fed, and Dead is going to be a whole lot of... If it's not shaped like a human, I don't know.
I don't know. Armaldo's more human shaped than our last episode, Garbodor, was.
I don't know. I've seen some people who look like Garbodor.
Bro, you're built like a Garbodor!
I think Armaldo is cool. It's like
Yes.
It's like street cred, right? You walk down the street with Armaldo, and it's like, oh man, I don't want to mess with that person's Pokemon. And I said,
Yeah.
it's my wife. Statistically, the odds of it being my wife, not great. But statistically,
I have a very
it's
rare
my wife.
Armaldo, and it's my wife. It's a woman. I bringing this thing to a fancy restaurant. I just can't imagine it sitting
sit
down.
It's got a big tail. How's it gonna sit?
You'd have to put it through that little backside of the chair, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of has that hole in the back. Hey, man, how do people in the Pokemon world drive around in cars with their Pokemon? I guess they don't.
Pokeballs.
I guess that's... Yes,
You
but
numpty.
not everybody wants to keep their Pokemon in Pokeballs.
Well, if
Hence,
they want
Ash
to
and
drive,
Pikachu.
if they want to drive with their Pokemon, put it in a Pokemon.
What if I wanted to walk down the street with my Wailord? Jokum. What if I wanted to?
It's a whale. You can't walk down the street.
What if I wanted to go inside the local CVS with my Steelix?
You can't put it in the ball.
I should be able to take my giant bazooka everywhere I want because I'm an American.
Everybody, but in this world, everybody has a bazooka.
That's why the crime rate's so low.
Yeah. No, there are evil organizations everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. Well, in recent years, there's just been a kind of annoying organization.
Yeah, there's been people who follow around a 13-year-old girl and cheer her on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, being married to Armaldo would be a challenge for sure. I feel like it ended up being more of a roommate situation where I'm like, hey, bro, how you doing? Hey,
Bro.
thanks for taking out the trash. Hey, I got unlucky with the gender ratio. But I can't cuddle this thing in bed at night. I just can't.
It's got no... I don't know if it necessarily creates body heat.
Oh my gosh, insects probably don't create body heat.
Maybe
do
not
they?
very much.
And rocks definitely don't.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to give that a very low tier on the wettable.
Yeah, that is a cold Pokemon. Edible Jokum. How do we feel about eating Armaldo?
I'm going to say that Armaldo probably tastes pretty good. It's basically a shrimp. I'm not sure if it's like actually... I'm not sure if it's like a predecessor to shrimp, but I'm going to assume that it is the
I would
same texture
imagine.
as shrimp.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like a proto shrimp. So you know how when you're like eating a crawfish, you know, it's just a very little bit of meat in the tail and whatever kind of comes out of the body. Do you think this thing is like all meat under there, or is there just a lot of extra like cartilage and bone structure going on?
I think there's probably a lot of like segments in the bone structure. Like, look at its neck, right?
Yes.
I'm thinking there's like each of those lines probably has like a little, like maybe it runs through as like a
Yeah.
crab cartilage. But I think in between that, I think there's like a central spine, little nerve that goes up, and then in each one of those neck segments, I think there's some meat. And
That's like a steak size of meat, like a pork chop is steak size of meat. That's a good.
And then in the
amount.
main body cavity, I think there's a lot of organs and stuff. But then those legs, I think there's meat in there. I think there's meat on the bones. Those arms,
Yeah.
I think you could pull out a
You
big
can
tasty piece.
pull them out just as easily as a
That
crab
tail,
claw.
come on.
Yeah, that's like a $500 meal. That tail
So
right there.
I would say this is highly edible.
Yes, extremely.
Not wettable. Unwettable, but highly edible.
Is there something so wrong to you about looking at this creature and discussing like a life with it, loving it, a marriage to it, and then immediately switching gears and talking about eating it as nothing more than food?
I see no problem. I don't know why you've got this hang up.
Yeah, I feel as though there's not much more to say on edible. I think it is plainly edible.
Anorith in a second, in a
Oh
millisecond.
yeah, Anorith doesn't even look like he has a brain, let alone like feelings. I would eat an Anorith so fast.
Now, deadable.
Now here's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because
I think that Anorith, I could easily. I grab a sharp stick and just stab it.
Yeah,
and then
beat
I can
it to
roast
death with a bat.
Literally, it's crunchy. It's super easy.
I feel like if you applied enough pressure with your foot, you could crack that shell and it's gone.
I think a swift like stomp to like the
stomp.
red part in the center. I think.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if there's soft spots.
Oh, on an anorith, I feel like its belly is like just as soft as like a shrimp shell or something, probably. It's Armaldo that I think you could hit this thing with a metal baseball bat and it would probably just, at minimum, it'd be cracked slightly.
Your only chance, I think it looks like. I would say we probably can't bring guns into this because they're like, okay, yeah.
That makes it. No, this is like hand-to-hand combat sort of deal.
Yeah, you can't. I can't imagine.
No.
Maybe you get onto it on its back, and then you try to pry in between its shell, and like rip up one, and then what? And then you just have to do that over and over again. And then what's gonna happen? Are you gonna punch through like its skin under there, and then what? Then
I think here's my thought process. I think those eyes are pretty vulnerable. It can't. Those arms cannot block a lot of its body.
One Punch Man. You can One Punch Man its eye socket out.
Yes. If you get its if you get its eyes, if you like poke them out, gouge them out, or whatever, then it won't know when you're sneaking up on it. Grab that arm and yank as hard as you can. I think that's its weak point. I think that
arm joints.
I think it's arm joint.
Crabs lose their arms.
Exactly, they lose them so easily. I think that arm with mild force can be pulled out, not that hard.
Brilliant.
Boom. I think I would give myself, because there's no crack in that carapace. It has a base 100 defense stat. That's really good. With bare hands, it's not happening. So you got to be crafty. I give myself a 55% chance of killing this thing.
I would give myself a 35% chance.
Okay.
All it needs to do is jab me once with those, and I'm like,
we don't have a carapace, do we?
No, we don't have a carapace.
We don't know carapace for the humans.
We're not that fast, Frank. We're Constitution builds.
True, but it's slow.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's so slow. If it's raining, we're so screwed.
It's been raining recently.
Yeah, as we're recording this, it's been raining all day. So if we fought this thing this very second, we're probably screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. In the rain, I give myself a 10% chance of beating this. Maybe 0. But I think, okay, you know what? Your 30% is much more accurate.
It's 0% in rain.
Yeah, 0% in rain. I'm going to give myself a 40% chance. I feel like you just have to get to the eyes. You just have to get to the eyes.
How tall is this? We are 4'11". It's a manlet.
Oh my gosh, 4'11". We have we basically have you have over a foot on it. I have practically a foot on it.
Oh my god.
Its eyes are in my my reach forward arm range.
We got grabbers. Oh my
I wish I knew exactly how long its arms were. They don't look as long as a human arm.
Okay, it's
I can tell you that.
4'11". I'm gonna use my thumb as a reference, or like the tip of my finger. Okay, it's about 2 of my fingers, 2 of the last joint of my fingers tall. And then its arm is about a little under the end of my finger joint. So it's about 2 feet and 5-ish inches.
My arm's longer. My arm's probably longer than that.
Well, what's your ape index?
My ape index?
You've never heard of an ape index?
But what is it? How long my arms are?
Yeah, how long your arms? If you stretch them out T-pose style and measured, end to end, how long is that?
I don't know what my ape index is.
It's typically the ape index is how long that is relative to your height. So if you have an ape index of 1, I think it's your hand is like 1 inch. I think that's the unit of measurement. It's like 1 inch. Your arms are 1 inch longer. Your ape index, than your actual height.
This isn't a tangent, by the way, guys. This is we important. Are using math to defeat Armaldo.
So I mean, it's got 2 feet. Those are tiny arms.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll run up behind it, grab its little but it's got that tail. Do you think that tail does anything?
The tail has a couple of spikes on it.
Yeah. Does it have any tail-based attacks? Iron Tail.
Oh crap.
No, it's a TM. Is this a wild?
I think it's wild. I think it's got to be wild. Oh, it can learn Aqua Jet as an egg move.
Aqua Tail.
Oh man.
It's got Aqua Tail.
It gets Aqua Tail?
That's
sick.
5, 6. Generation 8. It's 8.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay.
I mean, so it does have some tail-based attack. So I would still go from the front because I feel like if your arms are long enough, you could reach its eye stalks without it being able to reach you.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, okay. I had to stop myself from going, or.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah, anyways, you run to the side of it, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's looking you dead on. You strafe the side, grab its eye, and just start running to the side. It falls over to the side because it's slow, like, oh, I'm Armando. Sorry, Arnaldo. Sorry, Armaldo. And then you friggin' just keep pulling on its eye, dragging the little thing. If it pulls back, its eyes coming out.
This is One Punch Man thing.
It
When he grabbed the crab guy's eye and he yanked out all its guts. I'm upping this to 50%.
Yes. I'm sorry, but 4 feet 11. You okay? I don't like the sizes that they give you in the Pokemon, right? In the Pokédex, because in the anime, I feel like Armaldo is like 7 feet tall.
Oh no, I completely disagree. I feel like Armaldo is shorter than Steven.
Are you Armaldo and Steven?
It's
Like
okay,
the same
I mean,
size as him.
Okay, that's fan art.
I believe in fan art. And okay, this is also
That's
fan
like
art.
Gigantamax.
There's like no art of him standing right next to him. Look, it looks huge.
I think 4'11". I look at Armaldo. I think 4'11" to 5'11" is a good size range it would fall in. Like if we're using Pokemon Go logic, Pokemon can have different sizes, and Armaldo's not always
I feel
going
like
to be 5'11".
Pokemon Go is notoriously inaccurate with sizes too.
No, that's true. You can have like a 4 foot tall Machamp because you just found a really small one by chance. But still, I think Armaldo being 4'11" is a good median height.
Yeah. It also gives us the best chances. So
Yes. Listen, as long as it's not raining and this Armaldo is indeed 4'11",
it's 150
50%
pounds.
chance.
It's pretty heavy for being 4'11", which means that it'll be those eyes are coming out. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be moving in the opposite direction of those 150
Exactly.
pounds.
Jokum, I think we've deaded this Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
potentially.
this is
Coin flip.
75%.
You're giving a 75% chance now.
I think I got a good 75% chance.
Wow, I thought giving it 50 was good.
It doesn't, because it doesn't. Okay, Garbodor
You know what?
has like jets of like putrid, vile acid to melt me.
You know, this thing is a physical attacker, so it's not going to be throwing any special attacks your way. I mean, sure, it can learn special attacks, but it's not going to use
by the game
them.
logic. It can only know like 4 at a time.
Exactly.
If we're going by the anime logic, then friggin' Pikachu can lose to a
Snivy.
snake.
Yeah.
Snivy.
Okay, then maybe, you know what I'll do? I'll up it back up to what I said initially, 65%.
65.
I give myself a 65% chance.
I give myself a 75. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Come on out, Armaldo. We're calling you out, man.
Hold on. Do they have the sound? Oh, they don't have the... I was going to play the audio of its voice, but I can't. Oh, well. Its Pokédex color type is gray. I will
Makes sense to me.
No, it's blue.
It's a bluish gray.
It's a grayish blue.
If you isolated that color, you would not think that was like that kind of blue.
All right, we're going into
what are you doing?
Inspect element. I'm hacking. I'm going to tell you exactly what color it is with the color picker. Where do you think this right here on its neck, right?
Right.
Crap! This is
this shading right there. Perfect.
All right, its color is. We picked out Hex 96B 96B2D3.
It does look incredibly blue there.
That's a very blue.
Yeah, that is a very
That's
blue.
I hate the Pokédex so much.
Okay, but when the Pokédex is thinking of blue, it's thinking of like crayon blue, like that typical blue color, like a I don't know, like a Greninja blue.
That is pretty blue.
Yeah. I would say when you compare, Armaldo is definite. You know what? I scratch that. The more I look at it, the bluer it looks. that is a light blue Pokemon. Well, thank you everybody so very much for listening to our Armaldo episode. Do you like Armaldo? Is he your favorite fossil Pokemon? Why don't you let us know? Can you comment on podcasts? Can you just write comments?
Not the ones I use. Go to Let's Be Frank on YouTube and leave him a little comment.
Leave me a comment on any Pokemon video I've done in the past. Or leave us a review. Yeah, rate us 5 stars if you like the episode and tell us there what your favorite Pokemon is and a Pokemon you hope we get to in the future. If you like Pokemon content, why don't you go to my YouTube channel? Let's be frank, I do Pokemon videos there all the time. And if you like Joachim content, go to my YouTube channel as well, because we do taboo foods videos and all kinds of different things on my channel. So, Joachim, any last words?
Yeah, Armaldo, good fossil Pokemon in the better half of them, I think.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely in the better half of fossils. He's interesting to look at and just a cool guy. Thanks for watching. This has been a certified Poke Moment.